Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. We don't really have much reason to kind of hang around too much. Hello, Gurgi. Thank you for being here. You don't have to. We're going to do deck building today. I wanted to do deck building. I could play a game with the beginner decks like I normally do on Sundays. I feel like doing deck building. So that's what we're going to do today, and tough luck. um, Specifically, I got a bunch of cards in recently, so I'm going, and a bunch of them were specifically for this deck. So, oh, thank you. Um, yeah, so I'm going to build the deck now. I have pretty much all the cards that I could need for it. There's certainly more cards that could go into this, but the kind of general premise, yep, is Garruk. Garruk with some more Garruk, and then another Garruk with a Garruk pal on the side, and also another Garruk pal on the other side. So yeah, that's what we're going to build. We have pretty much all of the Garuks now. Maybe there's one other one. I don't remember. It would also be fun to have like the special versions of some of these, but I think it's okay. We got one special version of one of them, so that's probably good enough. Um, Let me think. Oh, so and to like what we're going to probably base it around is we can't have a Garruk as a planeswalker. I mean, as our commander, unfortunately. So we have to choose a creature to be our commander for the deck. I have two choices here. Both of them seem like really good picks. Let's go ahead and just kind of get started on like thinking about what this is going to be. So Garruk in general does a lot with creatures. It makes creatures. A lot of them are beasts. Some of them make wolves, and then some of them will destroy creatures, and some of them draw cards. Like this Primal Hunter one, his second ability is draw cards equal to the greatest power among creatures you control. So we kind of want probably something to do with creatures, and we also kind of want something to do with making big creatures, maybe. And then the other thing being, I don't know, we kind of want to try to stay on theme as much as we can, or at least, like kind of stay close to what Garruk is. And those are some fun emotes. Oh, party emotes. Okay. So Garruk is a hunter. He exists entirely to go out and find the biggest, baddest beast that he can and try to kill it. He also tends to hunt planeswalkers as well. Planeswalkers that have pissed him off, which is a lot of what his history. He has a really big grudge against Liliana, and that's kind of why we have this double-sided card, because Liliana used the Chain Veil that we have over here to turn Garruk into like some kind of cursed human type thing, and he had to try to hunt her down to try to break that curse or find a way to break the curse. So we and that's why we have it in green and black, which is what these two commanders are. So to that end, there is technically one legendary creature that could arguably go the best as this deck, or as the commander for this deck, and that's because it's a Golgari Commander that deals specifically with planeswalkers and planeswalker abilities. Unfortunately, that came out after, like, I don't buy super new cards. I only buy old cards now. Being basically anything that started getting printed this year and moving forward are cards I'm not going to buy. And unfortunately, that card got printed this year, so I'm not going to be buying it or adding it to this deck. So we're stuck with either Chevill, Bane of Monsters, and Serulf, Realm Eater. So one of them is a hunter, which is kind of cool to be able to have. The other one, Serulf, Realm Eater, is a legendary wolf. It has such a really pretty picture. And so both of these cards are going to go into the deck. Okay, let me see. Come on. Come on, camera. Focus. Focus camera. Show the card. Ugh. Anyway, just trust me, it's a pretty card. So, yeah, we're going. I think we want to use one of these two. They're both pretty low cost, which is nice. Chevill, Bane of Monsters is a 2-cost human rogue. That's 1/3. It has Death Touch, and then at the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponents control no permanents with bounty counters on them, put a bounty counter on target creature or planeswalker an opponent controls. Then, whenever a permanent an opponent controls with a bounty counter on it dies, you gain 3 life and draw a card. So that's a really cool ability, being able to basically, like, literally be a bounty hunter for creatures and planeswalkers. That's really nice, and I think that ultimately we're going to go with this. Before, I also kind of thought about Serulf Realm Eater, and the reason that I thought about it was just because it is a huge wolf that the picture shows it, like racing through to kind of eat people. It is a 3-cost 3/3 with whenever a permanent an opponent controls is put into a graveyard from the battlefield, put a +1/+1 counter on Serulf. At the beginning of your upkeep, if it has one or more +1/+1 counters on it, you may remove all of them. If you do, exile each other non-land permanent with converted mana cost less than or equal to the number of counters removed this way. So the reason I thought about this one is because while this one is thematically really, really good, it's honestly not necessarily a particularly strong card, which is unfortunate. Serulf, on the other hand, can get very big, and it has an ability that's built-in removal. Like it removes any non-land permanent, so it can get planeswalkers, enchantments, artifacts, everything, and it exiles them too, so we don't even have to worry about things coming back. We can just keep getting rid of everything on the battlefield, essentially. Which is really cool, but then, again, the reason why I'm kind of leaning against Serulf is because we're probably going to have a lot of really good artifacts and enchantments ourselves, and we're also going to have really good planeswalkers out that we're going to want to keep out. And some of them are kind of on the lower, like Garruk Wildspeaker and Garruk Relentless and Garruk Unleashed are all 4-cost. So it wouldn't take too much for Serulf to end up eating our own planeswalkers, which we don't necessarily want to do too much. So I'm thinking that Chevill is probably our best bet moving forward, which, like I said, I really kind of wanted to use this wolf, but I think it makes more sense ultimately to have Serulf in our deck as something cool that we can pull out sometime during a game, but not necessarily try to tie our entire deck around its ability. Whereas we will definitely use Chevill's ability because, like I said, there's multiple Garruks with kind of like removal type abilities. So I think that we can at least be able to get some of the life gain and card draw off of Chevill's ability. So the other thing that we have over here, this other pile, before we get digging into the rest of these cards and trying to separate them and everything, is that we have a number of cards that kind of tie into, like, they have Garruk's name on it, or they have to do something with Garruk's story, and Chevill is one of those. So Chevill is a card that deals a lot with planeswalkers. So we have Garruk's Pack Leader, Garruk's Horde, Garruk's Uprising, Garruk's War Steed, in Garruk's Wake, and Garruk's Harbinger. So we're going to try to fit all of these into the deck as well, which means that we're going to be probably skimping on some space here because we already have, for sure, for now, like, these cards are all cards that I'm going to want to be sure to try to put in, and definitely Serulf as well. So we have 8 Planeswalkers and 7 other cards. So 16 cards outside of our commander. we're running out of space here very rapidly, so we'll have to be careful and Maybe it means that we cut a Garruk card, but we're going to try not to. So, yep, all the Garruks. So, like I said, like how you start out building a deck is, you know, like these are all cards that I thought might end up going in here. I don't know if they all will. I mean, certainly all of them won't. I don't know which ones will necessarily, but it's sort of like I just go through the cards that I have and I pull cards that I think are interesting or could do something interesting or fit into the theme that I'm going for. I pull those all out, even if it means I pull some duplicates out. I want to be sure that I get, like, if I can't be sure that I actually pulled the card out, then I'll go ahead and pull it anyway, just in case, so that I make sure not to miss anything. So we will see some duplicates. But after you get all of these, all of the cards you think are going to go into it, I start separating them into piles based on their purpose. So let's go ahead and move some of this up a little bit out of the way for us. And then we will start separating these cards. So let's go and say card draw is really important. We want to have a pile for card draw. This one is a really good, this ape right here, Kolga the Titan Ape, is actually a new card that I just got. So this one is going to go into our removal spot, but it does kind of go along with other stuff that we have, particularly its ability is, well, sorry, so it enters the battlefield and it fights something, and then whenever it attacks, you destroy an artifact or enchantment. And then its final ability is pay a colorless and a green, return target human you control to its owner's hand, and then Kolga gains indestructible. So we have a really big ape, which fits perfectly into Garruk's theme, and then it has an ability that deals with our that could deal with our commander because it can return our commander to our hand, because our commander is a human. So that's a really cool ability. So that's going to stay in our removal spot for now, but it does kind of fit as a theme card. So we have some more removal. Here's a bunch of removal. This one is it's a creature that has like a cool ability. It's a dinosaur that you can reveal it to put prey counters on creatures. And then when it enters the battlefield, you kill all of the creatures with prey counters on them. So it's kind of a big dinosaur card that also kills things. I think we'll put it in removal for now, but this card is like a card that is probably a really fun card, but it may end up getting removed later. This is going to go into... We're going to actually put this creature into card draw. It doesn't actually draw us cards necessarily, but what it does is it sacrifices creatures to search your library for another creature and puts it into play. So it's kind of a tutor effect, and I typically put tutor and card draw effects together. So let's see. Let's see. Pelucranos, Unchained. He's arguably a removal card, but he's also just a big creature. I'm wondering if I just go ahead and put him in our theme stuff down here. So land ramp up here, or ramp just in general. Wild Pear is sort of a tutor effect. This is a big creature. This is removal. This is, again, sort of, I'm going to say theme pile. That's what this is. Theme. Card draw, ramp, ramp. I think this is probably better as a theme card. Removal. This is pseudo card draw, so we'll go and put it there for now. Card draw, removal, big creature, draw, creatures. The other thing going to be that I'll probably be leaning towards cards that do stuff with beasts, because, or are beasts themselves, just because Garruk makes beasts just as a general rule. Removal, draw, theme. Let's see. That's sort of draw. This is... Interesting. But this is extra. It's like not necessary. I guess it's kind of theme. It's enough of a theme to be able to put there. That's again theme. This is card draw. This is. I'm not sure that I want this card. I'm gonna go and take it out now. I'm when I first pulled cards for this deck was quite some time ago, and the reason that I took it out was because it's a fun card that doesn't really necessarily fit in a lot of places, and it essentially makes tokens every single turn. So I was thinking maybe like Tombstone Stairwell goes really well with Serulf, but I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to leave it out since we're not doing Serulf anymore. Tutor theme. Let's see. This is also probably theme. This is almost not theme itself. Big creatures here. Let's go and put all of the big creatures together. Oh, we have 2 hunting packs. I just saw that. Let's see. Hunting pact. Let's go ahead and take that out as well. Big creature theme. Yeah, because it's a reverent hunter, so that's good. This is removal. Theme, tutor. Theme, tutor. No, is it? Yeah, that's a tutor. We're not doing enough on lands. I'm going to go ahead and take that out. And Primal Surge. Do we want this? I mean, it sort of makes sense, but I'm kind of wondering if I don't want to do anything with it. Because I won't have anything in this deck that necessarily immediately wins the game if I play this, so. Hang on, guys. I'm going to be right back for just a second, so hang out. I'll be right back. Okay, sorry about that. We're back. I had a friend that there's Super Bowl stuff going on, and I had a friend who was calling me to see if I was going to hang out with him or not. I don't know. We'll see. I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet, but I wanted to be sure that I got that phone call or took that phone call. So let's see. We're still in the boring part. We're in the boring part of organizing this crazy mess that I have here. So theme, this is supposed to be card draw. This is theme with some more theme and some more theme. That's sort of. This is ramp. I'm really low on ramp, I feel like. Let's see. Is this... Discard's a card, draw cards. I'm going to go and put that in card draw. This is probably card draw. Let's see. This is ramp. It's not really ramp, but it's sort of ramp. Let's go and put that there. These things. Field power. Oh, I have like. Yeah, I'm going to go and take out this almighty bushwhack. It's a funny card, but it's not going to be doing much for us in Commander. Ring, 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 phone call, phone call. Ring, 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 phone call, phone call. Naturalize goes there. Wolf stuff. Let's see. This is sort of card draw. It's kind of closer to ramp, but it's technically card draw. That is ramp. This is card draw in a sense. These are ramp. Let's see. Big spell, ramp, ramp. There you go. There's our ramp. Removal. This is some themes. Oh wait, we got two Thragtusks now. Let's go and grab that other one while I remember. Where are you, Thragtusk? Okay, so Commander set versus M13. We will take out the Commander one, put in the M13. Just, oh yeah. When you said it, I was like, oh yeah, of course. Ramp, theme. This is ramp, theme. That's theme, theme, theme. Wow, we have like a crap ton of theme cards. We're going to have to figure out what we're doing. Oh, man. Let's see here. Oh, we got two. I think we have two Fierce Empaths. Let me see. Or Crozen Drover, maybe? I remember seeing one or the other here. Somewhere around here. Or maybe I'm misremembering. Oh, nope. Crozen Drover. We have two of them. So let's go and take one of those out. Although, do we have two Crozen Tuskers? Did I see a second one of those? No, it doesn't look like it. We might have two Crozen Tuskers, so we'll have to take one of those out maybe. This is sort of card draw more. We have two of those. I'm going to go and take one out. Search that. Removal. Oh, did we grab two of these natural orders? Let's see. Yeah, we did. Okay. We don't need multiple of that expensive card. This is sort of card draw there. That's ramp. We have two Summer Blooms. We don't need two of them. There's the second Crozen Tusker. Let's take that one out. Oh, I think we have Regal Behemoth twice now. I swore that we put one down already, but again, this is why we're checking, just in case. Yep, there you go. We have two of them. We do not need two of them. Theme. We have two Rancors, so we can take that one out. This is, well, let me think. This is not, it's more theme, unfortunately. I'm not sure about that one. Removal, search. This is removal, card draw, removal, ramp, but we have a rampant growth already, I think. Yes, they're both M10, so kind of doesn't matter there. Let's see, we have that, removal, Kurgadon. I think I remember seeing a Kurgadon somewhere. Let's see. Yes, we already have one, so we can go and take this one out. Let's put that ramp, removal, that card draw, ramp, removal, but we have Rapid Bite already, I think. Let's see, where's our... Do we have another one? Nope, we don't. Okay, that's fine then. So we will put this in. This is removal, naturalize. Oh, we already have, yeah, we already have naturalize, so we can do that. This is sort of removal. I don't know. I don't know if that's a good place to put it. Let's see. I actually think that I'm going to go and take this one out prematurely. We'll put Blood Curdle in. I think we already have Migratory Greathorn. And honestly, I think it's probably going to be one of the first cards that we take out. Let's see. And that is a removal card. Okay, so there we go. We're kind of like... I'll put this in theme. We kind of got a good number of groups here to kind of narrow our stuff down. I like to do the stuff that makes... like kind of the smaller piles first, just because I'm lazy and I want to put off getting to the bigger piles as much as possible. So we're going to do ramp real quick. Thankfully, with our ramp package, we're probably looking for... We'll start out with 8. We'll choose the 8 best of these, and then we will go from there. So we're just going to look and see. We have creature ones and spells, so let's go and separate that real quick, because that'll make it a little bit easier to understand what we're doing. That's a sorcery. There. It's an enchantment. So I have enchantment stuff in the middle here. Creature, enchantment, some more creatures, all creatures. Okay. So, how to decide on mono green ramp? Well, mono green basically takes the cake on ramp, just hands down. There's basically no other better color to ramp with than green. So unfortunately, that means we have a lot of choices, and basically because we have a lot of choices, we can pick and choose a little bit. I think we want to try to focus on whatever is the least, like the basically what costs the least amount of mana. So in that case, really Nature's Lore and Rampant Growth are some of the best, like top tier ramp. Farseek is technically another one that's really, really good. We don't have, I may have to pick up some more Farseeks at some point, but for now we're just going to go with this. And the reason that they're so good is because they're both 2 cost, so it doesn't take much mana to get them. They both only search for a single land, but Nature's Lore searches for any forest and puts it into play untapped, which is awesome. Rampant Growth can search for any type of basic land and put it onto the battlefield tapped. So it's a little worse than Nature's Lore, but for 2 mana, that's just freaking incredible. There's just probably no better than that card. Then looking over here, we're going to go ahead and... I always take out these Golgari Signets because I think I'm going to put them in, but really there's only like one Golgari deck that this card deserves to go into. And we're not playing, or we're not building around it, because it's a Golgari card that relies heavily on returning artifacts from your graveyard. So this would be a card that would go in it. We're going to go ahead and remove it. Druid's Depository is a really great card for ramp because it doesn't generate any mana initially, but whenever you attack with a creature, it gets a charge counter that you can turn into mana. So I think that's probably one we really want. Wild Growth, I actually really, really like Wild Growth as a ramp card, just because it's 1 cost, it enchants a land, and that land will then tap for more than 1 mana. So you can turn 1, spend this to ramp up immediately, and that makes it really, really good. It's really nice to have that kind of first turn ramp effect. So I think we're going to go ahead and go with these 2. I'm going to go ahead and take out the one that I said that I was probably going to take out, just because kind of looking at this. We have a bunch of different things that we could go with. This guy doesn't. It's this Borderland Ranger is a 3-cost 2/2 that searches for a land, but it goes into our hand and not onto the battlefield. The reason that I grabbed it was because I wasn't sure what else I would see and whether I wanted to go like really full ham on stuff, which would mean that this guy kind of looks sort of like some kind of hunter or something. That was my thought, but we're going to go ahead and take him out. Let me think about how we want to do this. I'm almost tempted to say on the creature side, like as much as I love having creature ramp, I'm kind of wondering if I want to limit it to non-humanoid ones, because all of these are kind of humanoid, like a bunch of them are humans. Oh, we have 2 of those, so we can take that out. We have humans and we have elves. That's, like elf, human, elf, human. And then Sakura Tribe Elder is a snake shaman that I use a lot in ramp decks. I'm kind of wondering if maybe this time, this deck, I'm just going to say no. That's how I'm going to do this. Since they are humanoid instead of beasts, I'm going to take them out. So we have these ones here. We have 5. I said I wanted 8. So let's see of these. I think that as much as I like Metamorphosis as the kind of, again, sort of the theme, I think what I'm going to do is just do these 3. So we have Harrow, which you sacrifice a land and get 2 basic lands untapped. Sky Shroud Claim, you pay 4 mana and you get 2 force cards and put them onto the battlefield. And then Summer Bloom is when it works really, really well, because it's a sorcery that allows you to play up to 3 additional lands in a single turn. So you can, on your second turn, if you just have a hand full of mana, you can be like, well, now I have like 5 mana on turn 3. So I think these are the 8 that we're going to go with for now, which may mean we remove 1 or more of them later. But I think this is a good starting point for building the deck. I think kind of the rule of it again is sort of 8 cards for each kind of group that you're looking for, and then narrowing it down from there. So we're going to aim for about 62 cards in this deck, because we'll have really good ramp. We do need to get to that ramp because we have some higher costing cards with our Garruks. We have multiple 6 costs and a 7 cost Garruk card. So we want to be sure to hit those. Plus, we are probably going to have some high costing creature spells. So we also want to be able to hit those. So 38 is probably a good starting point for testing out the deck. And then we can cut more or add more lands or add more ramp as we need to. So let's move on to removal. So we can separate removal in terms of what it's trying to remove, whether it's a creature or an artifact or an enchantment or something like that. So we'll put some creature ones over here, and we're going to see a bunch of creature removal, honestly. I think this one technically does creature with flying or artifact. I think we're going to go and put it in artifacts over here. This is we'll group the artifact and enchantment removal together. They're kind of similar, so let's do it like that. Removal, creature, that's artifact or enchantment. Technically also lands, but it's just so rare to remove lands. So let's see. This is a wrath effect, so we want to put it further over there. Let's see. This is artifact or enchantment. Oh, we're taking out that natural. I'm taking out this naturalize because this one is a picture of a dinosaur stomping on something to break it, and this one is a sword turning into a tree. So dinosaur stomp better this time. This one almost certainly is going to be more of a creature removal, artifact, creature, wrath effect. This is creature. This is all effects, so we're going to put it kind of by itself. It kills everything, even planeswalkers. So this is a creature removal. It's sort of a wrath effect, but we can't always be sure that it will turn out to be a wrath effect. So, and then this one is sort of multiple. Kolga is kind of multiple things, so I think we're going to put him to the side over here. So I think what we're going to look for is... This is really tough. This group is going to be really big because we want a decent number of both artifact and creature removal, although I think we can skimp a little bit more on the creature removal just because we have so many Garruks that can end up killing creatures. So I'm wondering if maybe we... just leave off a little bit on the creature removal. We keep some of it for sure, but we'll basically be doing these 4 here, maybe? Or maybe it's... Yeah, these 4 for sure. So then let's do 4 artifact and creature removal. So I like the effects that are instant. So especially with removal cards, you really want to aim for instant effects if you possibly can, unless the effect does something big. Like we have wrath effects here. So these are sorcery effects, which is fine because they're wrath effects. But then stuff with artifact and enchantment removal, we want most of them to be something that we can do at instant speed. So I think we will do these ones because these are all 3 instant speed stuff. And then I think that, let's see. As much as I want to do Acidic Slime, just because it can also destroy lands, I think that I'm going to do this Indrik Stomp Howler. And the reason that I'm going to do it is because it's on theme. It's actually a beast. So we're going to go with the beast on this side. Take those out. So really what we're looking at is... I think we're going to try to get at least 2 more spells, or 2 more of the creature removal stuff. Force of Despair, I kind of got specifically for this, as well as... Oh man, these are all like really great cards, and I really want to put them all in. Actually, so... That being said... Crushing Vine, Putrefy... Crushing Vine is creature with flying, but Putrefy is any creature. We're going to go ahead and switch that out. Let's see. I really kind of want to put Tezimok, Primal Death, in here into this deck. Maybe Snuff Out goes out. We have Slaughter instead. Slaughter has a... it can destroy target non-black creature and can't be regenerated, but then it also has a buyback cost. So we can pay 4 life. When we play the card, we can pay 4 life and return Slaughter back to our hand. So I think that's a really cool effect that we want to have. Man. This is tough. This is double tough. Because some of this stuff is like really thematic. Maybe I go ahead and say no to all of these for sure. I think this is probably the group that we're going to take some from, because I'm just going to slam in these ones and we're going to remove those, and we'll have a big pile, knowing that it's pretty likely we'll end up cutting 1 or more of these cards later on, but I can't make a decision on it right now. Which is okay. You don't have to necessarily... It kind of goes with deck building. You should just do it at your own pace, which may mean that you cut some cards now and then you cut some cards later, from the different groups that you separate in, that you organize with. It's not something that you have to necessarily focus really heavily on one group. I'm kind of giving you permission right now that you can come back to a group later if you need to, after you have a better idea about what you have and what you're going to try to be playing throughout your deck. So let's see with our card draw now. I think we can end up cutting a lot of this stuff, because a lot of this stuff was things that I was like, this is cute, so I'm going to put it in, but it's probably not actually going to make it in. And the reason that it's probably not going to make it in is just because it's like, they're like one-off effects that are can be good, but also it's like one-off effects aren't always the best effects to play. If you can get something that sits around for a while, then that's generally going to be better. Tutors are always going to be better than card draw, but sometimes you're going to want card draw because tutors generally only get one card at a time, whereas card draw almost always gets you more than one card each time you do it. So card draw that, like a one-off effect that could draw us multiple cards in a turn, is going to be better than some effects will, just based on how many cards we could possibly get. Like this Hunter's Insight is a card that I'm probably going to try to fit in, but before we do that, let's go ahead and do card draw versus tutors just to get an idea about how we look on tutors, because I also don't want to put too many tutors in, because it makes, essentially what it does is it makes your deck too what is it, kind of like straightforward in a sense, you know, like you end up doing the same things over and over and over again, and so you don't really want to be doing that too much. I'm gonna take Gamekeeper out. So tutors, card draw. Card draw stuff, card draw, tutor, card draw. Okay, that's a big group. Let's do with tutors. Let's see. I really wanted. I got Fiend Artisan specifically for this deck, so that's going to go in for sure. Survival of the Fittest really fits into the theme. I think we'll go and play it for now. It may end up being that we take Survival of the Fittest out if we don't have enough creatures to really make it work. But that also means that we're going to take Fauna Shama out, because it does the exact same effect. And again, sort of redundancy is arguably really good for competitive play, but we're not building for competitive play. I should have probably said that near the beginning, is that we are building for a little bit more of a casual deck. Survival of the Fittest is not a casual card, but if we're not playing a crap ton of, like, if we're not trying to take severe advantage of it, then it ends up being okay. We're going to keep that in. Natural Order seems like a really good, a really thematic card, versus I think that these ones... Did we do multiple Fierce Empaths? We're going to take out the Fierce Empath. I do kind of want Protean Hulk to be in this deck, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe I leave it out. We're going to go with these 3 tutors and see how it goes. So for our card draw, I really like Beast Whisperer. Whenever you cast a creature spell, you draw a card, so it costs a little bit, but then it's a static effect that you can just keep getting value out of. Especially also this Death Reap ritual. At the beginning of each instep, if a creature died, you can draw a card. So let's go ahead and get that in as well. Let's see. Triumph of Ferocity. It has Garruk on the image. That's why we're going to play it. It's an enchantment, a 3-cost enchantment. At the beginning of your upkeep, draw a card if you control the creature with the greatest power or tied for the greatest power. It has possibly some problematic art on it, but I'm kind of leaning towards go ahead and putting it in because it fits, because it's Garruk on a card fighting Liliana. So we have to put it on. Maybe someday we get somebody to do a different art for it or something. I don't know. We'll see. So we have a ton of, like, here's some more of the, like, not single card effects, but these are all single card effects. I'm kind of leaning towards Hunter's Insight. Again, seems really, let's do it. It's an instant speed target creature. Whenever it deals combat damage, you draw that much cards. So it can be, this can be a really, really big card draw effect. Collective Unconscious also can be. I draw a card for each creature I control. I'm thinking that's what we go with. I think these are our 8 cards. The rest of these, as good as they are, and again, the part of the reason is that I pulled these cards not knowing for sure whether I'd use them or not. You know, like, a bunch of these have, like, look at the top X number of cards of your library, and then you can, like, grab every creature card. Every creature card within those, like, say it's like 5 cards. You look at the top 5 cards, put all of the creature cards into your hand, and the rest on the bottom of your library. So there's a bunch of those that are good, but it's also kind of like, okay, yeah, but I don't know how many creatures we're going to play. And these ones right here, like all of these 5, like, I guess really the Beast Whisperer is the only one that's, like, still kind of dependent on us playing a number, like some number of creatures. But the rest of these deal directly with having something, like having a specific number of creatures out, which we will make creatures with Garruk. So this is really good. We don't have to know how many creatures are in our library to know if this card is going to be good or not. Versus, you know, like I said, if we don't know if we're going to reveal 5 creature cards from the top, but in the process of kind of pulling some of the cards for this deck, I've noticed that we're not playing a very low to the ground deck. We're not playing like a bunch of elves in the deck. So because we're not like playing a bunch of that kind of creature, we can't really be guaranteeing a lot of what these cards are trying to do. So I think that it's safe to say that this is the pile that we're going to go with for our card draw. And then maybe later on, if we see some differences, we can always exchange some of these for it. Because, like I said, these ones right here definitely do still rely on us having a decent number of creature cards in our deck, but not as many as some of those other ones were. Because, like, we're talking about a 100-card deck. So if we're shuffling up randomized, we may get like 1 card out of that. You know, like if we have, like, say 70 cards left in our library when we play one of the ones that reveals 5 cards off the top, any random 5 cards, we may not have enough creatures to be able to hit that very often. So I think that it's okay to go ahead and take them out for now. So we're now to the hefty pile here, the, like, big part. Now, that being said, we're into this pile now, but we've already taken out this many cards. So it's like we're actually doing we're going through this pretty decently. We've taken out just about as many cards as are in our kind of theme pile here. So again, let's see. Our themes for this is focused around Garruk. So we're looking for beasts, we're looking for big creatures, and we're looking for hunters. That's kind of what we're going to try to focus on. Wolves is kind of like a sort of beast sort of related thing, but they're going to have to be really good wolf cards for us to include them. So let's see what we got. This one I like. So the reason that I was kind of putting this to the side is that it doesn't really do anything that we want. It makes it so that creatures can't attack us. And not forever, but just we have to keep paying a cost every turn to keep it out longer. And the longer we keep it out, the more it costs to keep it out another turn. It can be a really good card. And really the reason I put it is elephant grass, safari hunting, Garruk kind of hunting thing. It sort of makes sense, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe we take this out just because it's just like, we're not trying to delay turns necessarily, but then again, it does. I don't really have this card anywhere else. That's kind of why I'm like flip-flopping on it. So I'm going to set it over here to the side as maybe a maybe card if we still have some space and there's not something else that we really, really desperately need. So let's go ahead and these are actually utility cards. So I'm going to set them over here with Elephant Grass. All of these are utility cards. And by utility, I mean that these effects right here, the effects that these cards have is that these two bring cards from our graveyard back into our hand or on top of our library. And the reason that would be good is because we can't return planeswalkers very well. We don't have like a lot. We need to use these cards to get planeswalkers back into our hand or back into play if we need to. So I think we're probably going to be having some number of these cards. Oh, and I guess to start out, let's look at making 3 piles. So we're going to be looking for 24 cards out of all of these cards here, which is like over 100. we're gonna try to cut this down a lot. So we're going to try to get like big creatures and some beasts and then some utility cards. That's what we're going to try to do. So let's go and keep doing this. This is utility stuff. This is beasts right here. I guess I'd said beasts in the middle. So big creatures here, beasts, and utility. So this is a beast, utility, 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 big creature, utility, big. Actually, this is a beast, so we'll put it there. This is a wolf, so we'll put it in beast, utility, utility. We have a ton of utility cards here. Fierce empath. That's what I knew that there was a fierce empath. Let's go and put it over here. And now I'm not sure why I didn't put Wirewood Savage into the beast cat or into the card draw category. We will leave it there and try to remember that it's whenever a beast comes into play, you may draw a card. So it seems like a good card to have in a deck that's going to be having a lot of beasts. So another beast. This is a big creature. This is sort of utility. Yeah, that's sort of utility. Big card, big card, big card. Utility, big creature, big creature. Actually, this is a beast, so we'll put him here. I think I really want to try to fit him in if I possibly can. Beast, beast, beast. Big creature, big, big. I'm going to go and take that card out. It's not going to be very good. This is a big creature. This I'm going to go ahead and take out. That's what the heck? I didn't organize this very well. I went through too quickly. Utility. Let's see. Again, this is a removal card. Why did I'm going to take that out. Sorry. Oh, this is bad. I am not paying attention, apparently. That's Grizzly Bear. Let's go and take that out. This is beast stuff. Do we have... Oh, we have 2 Soul of Zendikar. That looks like... Okay, yeah, that's M15. So we'll take out this commander version of it. This is not a beast, so it's going to go in there. Big creatures. That thing right there. Utility, utility. Not actually... This would be utility. It's not a beast. I'm going to go ahead and take it out because it deals with +1/+1 counters, and we're not really focused enough on that to make use of its effect. It's a rhino that makes it so that your creatures with +1/+1 counters get trample, which trample is a really good ability, and we will probably make some +1/+1 counter stuff here and there, but probably not enough to like warrant keeping it. That's utility, and technically like that should have been in card draw. Somebody was stupid earlier. That's sort of utility stuff. Jeez. Do I have a Croson Tusker already? I'm not seeing it, so let's go and leave it there. I'm going to take you out. You're a hunter, but unfortunately, I'm just going to go and take you out. Beasts. Big creature, big creature. Big creatures, utility, stuff. Wolf bear. Yeah, I'm going to go and take you out. And I'm going to go and take you out, too. Oh, I'm going to take you out. I'm going to say utility, big creature, big creature. Okay. Okay, now we have our 3 piles, our 3 different groups. Let's go ahead and, now that we have that organized further, we will narrow this down a little bit more. And now that I'm thinking about it, now that I'm seeing how many beast stuff we have, we may end up narrowing down our big creature one and do less than 8 on that one, just so that we can have more in this one. So in our utility, we're just looking for 8 cards. 8 measly cards. Champion of Lamphold. Yeah, let's go. So this guy is a 3-cost 1/1 creature. Creatures with power less than Champion of Lamphold's power can't block creatures you control. Whenever another creature enters the battlefield under your control, put a +1/+1 counter on Champion of Lamphold. So like I said, we have +1/+1 counter stuff. We just aren't making good enough use of it. So we are... Oh, let's see. Yeah, I'm going to leave that out. Okay, so this one will make it so our creatures are unblockable once it gets big enough. So that's going to be really good. That's going to be our way to get rid of, like, narrow down some of the other cards that we have. Let's see. So let's leave Krosan Drover in. So it's a 4-cost 2/2, and it makes it so that creature spells we play with converted mana cost 6 or more cost 2 less. So that's really cool. Let's see how we want to do this. I do want to focus a lot on returning planeswalkers from my graveyard. So I think we do want to have probably 3 of these, maybe not 4, but probably 3 of them. Just because it'll allow us to get back planeswalkers when we need to. Lure of Prey is a really good card. Let me think. I'm gonna say taking out Nature's Spiral, because it returns regrowth, returns any card. Nature's Spiral returns only permanents. So we will do these here. So we're kind of looking for 3 more cards. Lure of Prey, I'm kind of leaning towards. Lure of Prey has cast only when an opponent casts a creature spell, and then you can put a green creature from your hand into play. So you basically use 4 mana to bypass the cost of a big creature, specifically a green big creature. The Jolly Green Giant, maybe. But it just has the restriction of you have to wait until somebody else plays something for you to be able to play it. Which is fine, but it's a really nice way to surprise an opponent who thinks that they've got you. You can kind of got you them back. And people don't play this card very often, so it's always been a nice surprise card for me. Let's see what else we have here. We have a bunch of cards that basically give my creatures plus something. And I'm wondering if we want to take out the Infect card. I don't think we're going to be doing a lot with that. If we're going to play Lure of Prey, I think Dramatic Entrance loses a little bit of value. Deranged Outcast requires us to have a lot of humans, and we're not going to, so we'll take that out. Titan Hunter. Let's see, do we want Titan Hunter? Do we want Titan Hunter? That's a really good question. I'm going to take out these 2. They are single effects. One of them only just pumps 1 creature, and the other one forces a block. You get to replace it, so it's a cantrip. But a cantrip, sorry, I'm saying magic lingo. So cantrip means that it's a card that draws a single card. So you use a card to get a card back, essentially. So cantrips can be good if you can get a lot of them. There's a really good cantrip called Think Twice, which is a 2-cost blue spell that draws you a single card, but then it has a flashback cost, so you can pay 3 mana to cast it from your graveyard and then exile it. And when you do that, you get to replay the card essentially. So for 5 mana, you get to play 2 cards, but you do it in 2 different installments. You do it in a 2-cost and then a 3-cost. So that kind of stuff is really can be a really, really good effect, but we're not really leaning too much on that stuff. So let's see. We have some kind of hunterish stuff here, hunter-related things. Maybe we just try to slam some of those, but I'm really thinking that I wouldn't mind having an overrun effect if I can. But then again, Garruk is going to be doing our overrun effects, I think. So maybe it's okay to leave them out and not have multiples of them. I mean, multiples create redundancy, but at the same time, it's kind of like, yeah, but I kind of want to be able to do a bunch of different things if possible and not necessarily rely on one strategy. So, I always like having Rancor available if I can. So let's look at these. We only need 3 of these, so we're going to take out a few of them. Let me think. I am not sure the Savvy Hunter is doing enough. So Savvy Hunter is a 3-cost 3/3 human that has, whenever it attacks or blocks, you create a food token, and then you can sacrifice 2 food tokens to draw a card. So yeah, you get some card draw out of it, but you have to get into 2 different combats with a card that's pretty weak. So I'm kind of wondering if maybe we leave that out. Let's see. I'm going to take out Revenge of the Hunted just because it's a solid card, but I'm not sure how much how efficient it really is for us for what we're trying to do. So that leaves us with these. Let's see. I like the idea of having these 2. That's my problem, is that I think that Ulvenwald Tracker may be a little bit more useful than the Titan Hunter, but the Titan Hunter helps us put opponents onto clocks. And it does play into, we make creature tokens with our Garruks that we can use to sacrifice to Titan Hunter. So it sort of makes sense that Titan Hunter actually really plays really well with Garruks. Whereas Ulvenwald Tracker doesn't quite as, I don't know. It doesn't deal directly with it, but it does deal better with the other creatures that we have in the deck. And these 2, I'm gonna go and keep the Titan Hunter. I haven't played with it too much. I've had it in a deck before, but the reason that I have one right here is because it got taken out. Because I went a different direction with that deck's theme, which meant that Titan Hunter got removed. So here's our 8 cards for utility. Let's look at big creatures first, because like I said, I want to cut some of them out. Let's say 5, I think. That'll give us 3 more on the other side of things. Oh, this is actually a beast. It needs to go over with beasts. This is technically a beast too, but I don't know. Let me think. I got Pelucanos Unchained specifically for this deck, so we're going to go and he just automatically gets a spot. Let's take out the Hydras. As much as I like Hydras, I think we're going to go ahead and take them out. I have other decks with Hydras. Volturus Zombie never gets played anywhere. It doesn't seem like a big creature, but it almost immediately gets big. It's a 5-cost 3/3 plant zombie, which is a really weird combination. It has flying, and then whenever a card is put into an opponent's graveyard from anywhere, put a +1/+1 counter on Vulturous Zombie. So all I have to do is kill stuff or wait for other people's stuff to get killed, and it becomes a flying zombie that's really big. So, and it's in black and green. It doesn't really, I don't really have another place for that stuff, so I think we're going to go ahead and play it. Grothama, All Devouring. I think that's probably what I want to put in. I'm kind of looking at some of these other ones, and I'm wondering, like, Regal Behemoth is always really, really good because it doubles our mana and gives us incidental card draw. We have these big dinosaur stuff type things that does cycling that we can put trample and death touch counters on stuff. So I think I want to think about that. Terastodon destroys permanents. Decimator of the Provinces is another kind. It is a sort of what is it called? Overrun effect. It gives us an overrun effect, and then I think that the rest of these are just kind of big dummy creatures. So I think we're going to go ahead and remove the rest of these. And Polukranos is one that I really want to feel like I can fit into this deck. But my problem is only that as cool of an effect as it has, which is essentially it grows heads that then try to eat opposing creatures. We're not like necessarily making a crap ton of mana. So I think that it's okay to leave it out, since we also already we have a mono green deck that's headed by Polukranos. So I think I'm going to take that out. So we have 3 here for sure. We need 2 more from down here. I really want to put in 1 or more of these guys, but I don't really have anything to return them. So, I mean, it feels a little wasted, even though one of them's a beast. Let's do Regal Behemoth, and let's do Terastodon. These ones I feel a little sad about not including, but I'm still trying to find a space for this Decimator of the Provinces. It's an Eldrazi boar, so it's like a really big creature by itself, and then it makes other creatures really big for a single turn and gives them trample, and it has haste, and it's like, I want to fit it in, but basically its spot is going to be taken up by one of these beast cards. So here's that pile. So now we are looking at actual beast cards. So we have 3 more slots for it, so that's 11 cards to pull out from here. Yeah. I think that we for sure want Spirit Monger in there because it's a really cool beast card. It can change its color, it regenerates, and whenever it deals damage to a creature, it gets stronger. So it's like a really cool beast card. We don't have basically any deck that has Craterhoof Behemoth in it, so we're going to almost certainly put that in. Oh, and the Wirewood Savage, we said we would almost certainly put in because it's whenever a beast comes into play, any beast anywhere, it looks like, then we get to draw a card. So that seems really, really good for us. Let's see. Azuri's Predation is like a ridiculously broken card that shouldn't have been given to green, but it was, so we're going to put it in. Let's see. Fresh Meat. Whenever creatures die, we can turn them into beasts, so that seems really good. Beasts cost 1 less, but do we have... We actually need to play beasts now. If we're going to use this card, we need to play beast spells to make it make sense. So let's do Rampaging Baloths. It's a beast that makes more beasts, so that seems pretty good. Let's see. Kurgadon, I think we can go ahead and take out because it's one that whenever we play a creature spell with converted mana cost 6 or more, we get to put 3 counters on Kurgadon, but it doesn't have trample, and I don't think we're going to be actually casting a bunch of beast spells, so I think we can go ahead and take that out. Advocate of the Beast, at the beginning of your end step, you put a +1/+1 counter on target beast creature you control. I think we can go ahead and remove that. It's just too slow of an effect, and like I said, we're not focused enough on that stuff. I guess Crows and War Chief we're okay with because its second ability is pay 2 mana to regenerate target beast. So I guess that's actually a pretty decent ability just by itself, even if we don't get too much out of the cost reduction. That being said, Thunderfoot Bailiffs, as long as you control your commander, it and other creatures you control have +2/+2 and trample. So maybe that's a really good one to put in. Siege Behemoth allows our creatures to attack through, like we can decide to have our creatures deal damage directly. Let's see. I think that this beast is okay to remove. It's not. Basically you reveal some number of beasts from your hand when it comes into play, and then it comes into play with that many +1/+1 counters. So I think we can take that out. We have 2 copies of Scrag Goliath, so let's take that out. Thrag Tusk just seems like a really good one to have. So what are we at? We're at 5, 9, 10. We need 1 more. So, I mean, we could go traditional and do Krosan Tusker because it's Krosan Tusker and it's sort of like a funny card to put in. But that being said, Krosan Tusker is always put in because of its cycling ability, because when you cycle it, you get to draw a card, but then you also get to look through your library for a basic land. So I think that we're fine just not having it. Because, like I said, it's probably not really doing as much as we'd like for the deck. We have a bunch of good ramp cards and everything already, so... let's see. We need 1 more card, and we can start narrowing. We can count how many cards we have and to see how many we need to take out. This makes wolves. As much as I like, it just makes wolves, and I don't know that that's what we want. Hunting Pack seems really nice, but I'm wondering if maybe we just go with this... maybe we just go with Soul of Zendikar. I've never played this card. I don't exactly know how good it is. We really would like, because I'm that actor who talks like this. Anyway, sorry. I've never played with this card before. Its cost it has basically pay 5 mana to put a beast to like create a beast token, a 3/3 beast. It's just 5 mana is awful, like often a lot of mana to have to pay, but I feel like maybe we go and do that just because, basically because I don't have it anywhere, because I'm not playing it anywhere. We go ahead and play it here and see what happens. Okay, so I think that actually is all of our piles. We have so many piles, essentially. Creature here. Okay, so we need to count and see how many cards we have. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Oop. Sorry, that was 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65, 66, 7, 8, 9, 70, 71. Oh, 9 cards. Actually, that's not too bad. Look how many cards we took out. I have it off screen, but you can see here. This is how many cards we went through. That's really great. In like an hour and a half or so. That's how many cards we've gone through. So that's actually a lot of good progress, I think. This is a good like 150 cards or so. So, yeah. I'm glad about that. So now we need to go through the process of cutting out 9 cards because we want to get down to 62. So let's relook at some of this stuff and see what we're actually getting out of these cards, and see if there's something here that we can take out. And honestly, I don't think that there is. Let's see. That's not a bad card. Garruk's War Steed is really the one that I'm thinking I'm going to go ahead and take out. It technically is a tutor for Garruk, for a Garruk card, but I'm kind of wondering if maybe that's... I mean, it's a 5-cost 3/5, so it's like kind of a terrible card. Let me go and take that out. I'm going to say we're going to take that out. We're going to leave the rest of these in for sure. So that's 1 card. We need 8 more. Let me think. What's our biggest piles here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Let's go and take out this one. Let's see if there's another one of these that we can take out. That's really good for taking out. Let's go and take out this Blood Curdle. Kind of like those. So we're down to 6 more cards. Let's see. Actually, we don't want to take any more out of the card draw. Let's see. I'm not talking too much because I'm thinking, I'm rereading cards and I'm trying to think about why I might take them out or how much use they're doing and whether it's effective enough to keep it in. I need to find a deck for this Garthama All Devouring. I'm going to go and take it out. Now we're down to 5 cards, but it has a really cool effect. It's really interesting. It's a 5-cost 10/8 creature. That is huge. That is mega huge. There are very few creatures with that kind of mana cost to effect disparity. I mean, like, there's Phyrexian Juggernaut, which is a one colorless 12/12 trample creature. That's like the biggest like cost to power kind of separation. But when it comes into play, you have to sacrifice enough things to equal 12 or more mana, or 12 or more power. So basically, you kind of like consolidate all of your power of the creatures that you have out already into Phyrexian Juggernaut. Now, there is a deck that I played Phyrexian Juggernaut in. There may actually be 2, but yeah, so Garthama All Devouring has other creatures. Every creature, not just yours, but all of your opponents as well, have whenever this creature attacks, you may have it fight Garthama All Devouring. Then it has when Garthama leaves the battlefield, Each player draws cards equal to the amount of damage dealt to Grathama this turn by sources they controlled. So if you basically what the idea here would be, you would play Grathama, you would immediately attack with your creatures, and each of your creatures would certainly die, because they'll end up fighting Grathama. But the idea is that if you deal more than when you deal 8 or more damage, you Grathama ends up drawing you a crap ton of cards. You'll basically end up drawing 8 cards or something like that. Probably 9, I would guess. But so you end up drawing a crap ton of cards with it. So it's like it fits the Garruk theme, and it draws cards, and it's quite fun. But on the other hand, it's like I'm not sure that it's right, like perfect for this deck. And when we're cutting cards, because it's not quite there, I think that it's safe to say that it's time to cut that card. So, 5 more cards. We can do this. I swear. I say that every time. God, I really don't want to cut any of the beast cards. So it's kind of like I'm stuck on, I need to like cut some other cards from other places. Let's see. How many creature cards are we playing? That's a good question. So we have that creature, we have our commander. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in here. Let's see. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, wait. Corrosive Drover. That's what we need to do. 13 anyway. Let's get through this. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. I'm thinking Beast Whisperer may be the card that we cut here, because 25 cards is good, but that's we would need that number to be a lot higher for Beast Whisperer to really start making any sense. So we're going to go ahead and take that out. Oh, sorry. I need to put it not over there. I need to put it over here. So 4 more cards. So Corrosive Drover. Do we have enough to make Corrosive Drover any good? So we have 2 high-cost cards right there. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Oh, no. That's not enough. Corrosive Drover, you're gone too. I'm sorry. I want to keep you, but no. So that's 6 cards. We need 3 more cards. 3 more cards to cut. Oh, what do we do? Oh, let me double check to make sure that that actually is the right number. So we have our commander for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, 39, 40, 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, 5, 6, 7, 8, 59, 60, 61, 62, 63, 64, 65. So yeah, we need 3 more cards cut, and then we will be golden. I can't skimp on these cards. I absolutely need those cards. So I need as much ramp as I can get. So we're going to make sure that we stay 8. We're not going to cut a single card from that. Which means that we're not going to cut any of these Garruk cards as well. But that also, so let's see, can we cut a card from card draw? Because we actually have 2 different card draw effects here. Because Garruk's pack leader draws us cards, and Garruk's uprising draws us cards. So, is there a card draw effect that we can remove from here that we don't need as much? Let's say collective unconscious. Let's go and take that out. So then we're still at a decent number of card draw effects, and we still have some tutors here. Yeah, I think that's probably good. So then we need one more card to cut. One measly card. Just one tiny itsy bitsy teeny weeny card. Let me think about what we see. And I'm kind of thinking, I don't know, this Back from War is actually really good. We don't want to remove too much of these, but it maybe we remove Back from War just because even though its effect is really cool with returning a creature from our graveyard back to play. I don't know. I mean, that does fit the theme of okay, that's what we're going to do. I know what we're going to do. So Back from War is a higher cost card. And we also have Putrefy that we could get rid of that destroys either a creature or an artifact. So Back from War doesn't destroy artifacts, so that it's not exactly that they are comparable necessarily. It's more that are we too high on our mana cost to keep it yellow polka dot bikini? Are we too high on our mana cost that we really should consider taking out Back from War and leaving Putrefy in so that we maintain like some lower number of mana cost cards? So what we're going to do now. This is always a good check once you get done. If you get done with the cards that you think is going to be good in your deck, you should always double check the mana cost. You should visualize the mana curve of your deck to make sure that you're going to actually be playing cards, effectively. Like if you have a deck that's full of 7, 8, and 9 cost cards, and you have like almost nothing on the bottom end where it's like lower cost, then you're probably going to have a lot of problems being able to play things unless you purposefully make your deck do that, and unless you make it operate. And I have a deck that operates like that, but it does, you do have to be really careful about crafting it. So let's go ahead and look at our mana curve real quick to see if we are like massively weighted onto one end or not. I don't think we have any zero cost cards, so I'm not going to worry about making space for those. But we are, let's see. Ugh. Okay. 4, 4, 6. Yeah, that was a 6. This is a 7, which is one of our highest costing cards. 5 here in the middle. Yeah, and you can kind of see, are you kind of seeing what I was talking about? Is that we're already kind of more on one end than we are on the other. And we're going to do anything that's above 7 into one pile. So we need to make sure that we do have a lot of low end stuff if we can. Oof, we are really heavy on the 4s. So hopefully it's not too bad as we get a little bit further. I'm kind of concerned. I think Back from War is the card that's going to get pulled just because we are in green, but there's only so much that green can do to help with having too many high cost cards. Okay. Thank you for watching, Gurgi. Have a great day, okay? I love you. Let's see. 5, 5. Oh my gosh, this is awful. we are definitely taking out the Back from War. 6 cost. So yeah, you can see here, look at this. Look at this mess that I've created. We have a lot of cards here, but like this right here, this dividing line is where you're going to try to weigh stuff around. Back for More is our last card. I'm going to go ahead and pull it, but you can kind of, we have a ton of high cost stuff. We have a ton of it. We are definitely weighted more towards this end. We have, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27. So less than half of our deck is 3 cost or lower. This is going to be interesting to see when we play this. So we're not going to be able to play this deck. We're not going to play it this Wednesday or Thursday. It maybe end up being Thursday. We're not going to play it either of those days just because I already have something planned for Wednesday and Thursday, and this deck doesn't fit into that theme. We're going to be doing Guild Wars for the next 3 weeks on Wednesday and Thursday. So this deck won't fit into that. Thank you, Cuckoo Clock. But I am going to try to get in a game where we test this out and see how well it does and see if it doesn't do very well at all, because I have a feeling that it's going to have a little bit of trouble getting off the ground, and we're going to have to come back and revisit a lot of this stuff. We're going to have to revisit what we have with, like, basically what we're going to hope for is that the 8 ramp cards that we used is going to be enough to get us into the game in most cases. If it isn't, then I don't know. We will see. This is going to be an interesting deck to play. I'm excited to see it, but I'm afraid of it not doing very well. So I don't know. That's about all that I have now. I don't know. Is there anybody out there that has any questions or has anything that they want to add about it? Then just go ahead and shout out in the comments. Or in the chat, I mean. But otherwise, I think we're going to start packing it in a little bit and probably calling it a day. We got a good, let's see, that's a decent amount of time, about an hour and 40 minutes. Like I said, I'm not going to do these deck building stuff too often because I don't want to spend too much time not just playing Magic, because I really like playing Magic. But sometimes I do need to sit down, and this is a good kind of way to like kind of force me into actually doing deck building, because sometimes I have a box of like 8 different deck ideas that I've had floating around, some of them for a very long time. So I really do need to like build those decks at some point. So this is a good way to force me to do that. But I also want to make sure that this stream doesn't just turn into a deck building stream every week. I want it to be a like teaching Magic and playing Magic and kind of showing that, showing what Magic can do. So, okay, well, I guess I'm going to go ahead and start closing up for the day. Thank you all for joining me. Sundays, casual stream. We play beginner decks. We go through every step and try to talk about it really in depth. On Wednesday and Thursday, we play sort of more complex stuff that has a lot more strategy to it, that has a lot more combinations of cards to it. And so we're not going to I still kind of describe my process of what I'm doing and why I make decisions, but we don't necessarily go too deep into those decisions. I just kind of talk about them a little bit and then do them. So you're welcome to join me then as well if you're interested. But otherwise, I hope you all have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you next time.